ahwefo ne etiefo yeretua yen dwumadi so ene den yerehwe data presentation bibia no yerekwa abato a obehu se nkrofo aba mountain so aba kire wonga so dai onyame no wonga kasa sunsun bi no wonga kasa yangate na emum abato eye science eye abodi mu nhwehwe na yede hwehwe na yetew se adwumadi no ho eni nti so obi kasa no se obi atenasum ohu nani so no ho niam enye nyina na yebetumadi achi ebise mewo ho mentemasum mehu meni so na emum ne mehu ne science se yehwehwe niam ma ene yen nkomo eye research ne yehwe constituencies eye swing regions na swing regions no yere analysis e wo ho ebise nkomo bebre wo ho na dwumadi mene owura oye professor obenfo Professor Ezekiel Note na yere hwe saa nkomo yi enu nti fa waso femme fa wani femme na yemfi dwumadi na se ni mankomonko
yeah mida ahwefo ene etifo nyina ase ye ka swinga bia ye ntiase we only constitute it around the regions. Now, swing no, bet me a swing even in your stronghold. Baby, wawondi wakra no, bet me akun atiao. And the idea ni say, you shared the 2 cycles of elections, 2016 and 2020, about one. And ya do some, ya shared data no, and ye be your presentation no afa constituencies are that are likely to swing and constituencies that may not swing. And ye be share from Greater Accra region.
Yo na Greater no ye rehwe dia ye be hwe ne edikan ye Dome Kwabenya constituency constituency a ehia party for pa esane say sani amiura ne kire na nkrofo akirikire mu se woka ayi swing regions dia eye central and Cape Coast nokware eye central and Greater Accra nokware mi se won se anya nokware nhwehwem bededi akire wo se even your own strong hold babia wa hoden wo o se we sante o fira wagya me kire voter region ebe wo se swing wo babia na mum baby swing sing baby nti sa nkomo ne yedi enu nti yeri fiase na yen ahwe ni fa yenko
enti dom kwa abinya ya nyina nim se dom kwa abinya ye NPP stronghold na but senior data ni kire no timi akọ e fanum babia usha swing effect ya measure ye no 9.4%. NDC the performance in 2020 no effectively anya 9.4% maximum kadi onya ye no and this e ban sa na NDC benya 50.04% na obi 12% that's it.
Well, we need.
And NPP drop to 48.95%. Let's just say NDC aru edikan.
Yo.
Mom, we estimate now. Yeah, will be a friend confidence interval. Say bomodin kra baby abedu. Ubebomodin suwa baby abedu. And no, yeah, 95% confidence on 0.57. And the 0.57 no, Becca NDC dear no, now 0.57 no, was subtracted after Ube who say NDC confidence bound no, ebe below 49. And now we had the same thing ma NPP NPP dear no so be crossing 50% no. And the a say dom kwa benya betumi akọ efa bia
yo sani mi wura ne kyerɛkyerɛ asen em sɛ edemu plane ene den sɛ dome kwa benya nhwehwemu kyerɛ sɛ wanhwe ni ya obi ya betmedi enye MPP nkoa menkai etiefo ne ahwefo sɛ nea yeye yede statistical models ne yeye yo yenko field and collected data ye nti eyi no eye guide ebua party fo ma hu sɛ bibiriba nti yenhwe ni nti wo ye homework yi a wo ye NDC a obetuma wini wo ye MPP a obetuma wini na denti na etesa wo hwɛ dome kwa benya na sɛ ne odi kan kyerɛ na ye MPP fo one stronghold ɛhɔ no ahoɔden wɔ pa na nansen anka entisi yekese o NDC fo korampo betuma wini na den na akɔfa sa ade aba wo hwɛ asɛm ne fare baya ba ko ye adwo asafo o kai sɛ broti ekonwa no so no ɔda so te so as MP no ugya hɔ ko aburuchi ko hwɛ ne ba yare ne ho ne ma nsɛm bebre bai party fo no sori ginan ene wona wo constituency wo se ni otu awon ano no ni hɔ den na de aba den na aba na wo kyerɛ ase den wo nya nkyerɛ ase bebre ya nkyerɛ wo na eyehe saade no eba ne say affect party na no nsunsu anso ne ehui esane say bibia wo pese obi tua won ano na oka won asema na odi won anim won anya nti eto da bia in politics na fei ubon so obi mfa ontumi mfa na wire nche mu esane say na adwene mu no wunyina ho man nti adwasafo ne factor no eye adwuma wo ho betuma ko atia MPP nti MPP nhwe ni ye wo ho ne etoso abie ngade saade aba eye say wahu nhwehwemu akyerɛ sɛ Ghana wo pese win elections ade ehuhia pa ehuhia Ghana for number 1 eye the economy oman sika nkonta ne nhyehyɛ sɛ ikɔ papa nyuma koso egwadi koso bibia koso na sɛ nkrofo ho ntɔna baabi a wo bia wo sori tiawa wo be sori wo be gina saa asɛm no so na wo hwɛ sɛ na sese economy ne kɔna yiwu ewo mu sɛ sese asate fefew na emom osutɔ fam ye den papa nkrofo kutokum wo de wonsa hyenma wonsa yesi wonan ase enu nti ahokyere wo ho wo hwɛ saa constituency na saa de no re kasa kyerɛ yen sɛ saa horom no enu so be hawo efei sɛ wo be hwɛ a domigua ye gua nkrofo digua wo ho ne ho ne ma sɛ economy ho kapɛ akagua gbedifo ne ho ne ma ukogua so ye ko bi sɛ wutumi to ade enche bia ne yeto ntos 5 cities ne 10 cities nti saa ne mani nyina re kwatia sɛ MPP pese wotumi fa saa seat na wontie saa nsɛm yi na wonye homework wo the economy ene niema ehuhia ho fei wonhwɛ sɛ constituency specific issues saa constituency den ne ehuhia won saa kasa no wotumi tia ebeboa won fei MPP nso pese NDC pese wo fa kunwa na ene won so wonye won homework yi na saa nsɛm yi kan wo betumi de nsɛm pa bi aba ye fi ha ye bɛkɔ another constituency enu nti yereko another constituency ni akwakohwe nti eyi ne yedema etiefo ene ahwefo se wonhwe na wonwinwe ho na yeto aba na aboa won
yo yedamase
nti yanko
enti Madina enso se Madina wo ye bro no so ya
yo
Madina no niama ntimi nsisa bebre saa if say uhwe swing effect na ye measure ye no ye 12.78% ekoma NDC 12.78% ekoma NDC enti uhwe NDC estimated 2024 percentage no ebe 69.38 say omahuru edikan now only nam 69 dear just say it's almost no contest MPP dear no ashri eko 30.01% just say say
ahoden wo form
ahoden wo form yo enti uhwe confidence bound no sir standard error no 0.66 enti se uti enukra fail NDC
69.36% now.
They are still winning. Okay. And the say ebani say ebe swingi a they be entimi swingi wo ha.
Yo. Say no chire mu no odem konta na guo. Ne etekora ne say saa ho no say sani aye kan bibia akoso wano a NDC befa ne ntama pafura wo be wini esa ne say wo hwa saa analysis yi kire say NDC wa hoden wo hopa enu nti owumu nkwamu yo say ne aye hun eye ne peso dia NDC betumafa wo saa honom a NPP woruntumi emmenwo nkora nti eno ni niema yen ehu dinti na madina eno nso yetesa yo nsam na me de kyerɛkyerɛ na enua bi na wahai wohwa gwa baby egwa wo bia no se economy nya wo ho ka madina gwa ye gwa hene pa ye gwa nkrofo ba ho be ye adwuma wo ho na bibia akofefefe na eni asetena yedin nti egwadifu anu dem me a megira ho da bia meta akọ madina gwa no so ne ana meto no na otwe mu sire na meto ne sidi iyo menam gwa so metako gwa no so esa ne se mekọ bi mehu bi na manka bi wuchi mpese mekọ gwa no so na mehu ne ekoso eno nti saa ne ma no so makọ akọhwehwe na eno na eri dadi eno edadi egwadifo ene asetenam ayedin eno nti nkrofie fiase nwenwe eno nti madina no se NPP amo ho modern a ebetuma fi wo ebetuma se wonya tumi wo ho wonhwe nie afei ania sa analysis yere kire ne se ye kan sa analysis ne kire yan adwene wo ho ye the science ne ye na science so mfa so ne se ne yan akan unso utumi follow a ubetumi anya the same results you na mum ne obi ehu onyame aka kire nia esan so te nasum obia aka kire ne de enye no na ye de adwuma eno de enu nti wo hwe madina no megedi se parties abien ni nyina no obetie na sopam enu nkire se wuri win nti na wakoda na wanyansa bi na wonom esan se wuje se wuri win de bi eno de you fofu bedan wo kwai you na mum okwa wo se wuri win a wori adwuma den wom wo se wuri lusu ya wuri adwuma den wom na wahwe se ebeye den ana eno wonhwe sa ne mani ye na bribia no ye kire se morohwe factors a determine voter choices ye were the national ones eka bia economy ehu hia pa infrastructure development insupa akwanpa akania ai mensing bia wo hia sa ade ne bi nti wo ha wo monwani nkoso na afei wo hwe mabun nyuma so mabun a wo madi na wonya wo nyuma ya na ya ade a erekun atia party nti wo hwe ni ye mabun adwuma ye esa na se yekoye be ne be ya yensa be koyen anu ne hu hia enu nti wo hwe na wo mmosa ade ne ho ban se wo petumia na afei wo menya kasa pa bi nka nkire yen me gye se ene atiefo ne ahwefo won a atie yen na wotwe bia no ye de bi bebrem a kirekire mu na mmom ne ye ka no ye se eyi ye guide eyi nkire se ye de yensasie mbo se na erebani esa ne se no de ne nkonta nso ye besanga ba bio ye beto nkrofo agu monten so no nwako bi se bisa ansam na wo ba ye de abatugwa na eyi ne de ye guide wutia ebabua wo to chena ebesan wo mene manu ato enu nti moma misima na mentwa me ho na meba na fe ne ayi wo friend adwumadin yen abetrase na yen ahwe yen kasa ho panel discussion den nsam ne ba kasa wo ho wo ma misima nchimu afiri ne nto ba bia menda Angel TV ani Angel Radio atowa peten wo men ha nyina ma wo afiri ne na ho na wo beti asempa ma misima mesanga ba
In this age, Reliable and stable power supply is the bedrock of every development. However, a backup plan should always be for every business that wants to thrive to hit the ceiling. Peggett Engineering and Company Limited offers that plan. They are the importers of brand new original super silent Cummins and Perkins generators from the UK. Peggett is also the sole importer of comfy air conditions that comes with an inverter. At Peggett, we undertake installation and servicing of solar panels, generators, and air conditions with certified ECG installers. Here, everything is done in a professional way. Call now on 0244 599 124 or 0265 468 434. Peggett Engineering and Company Limited. Locators at Ahinsan Kumasi, adjacent the Kumaruman Rural Bank or opposite the China Mall. Peggett Engineering and Company Limited. The entity you can trust.
Ready for something refreshing and great tasting? For your kids' enjoyment?
Angel Cola.
For your graduation enjoyment?
Angel Cola.
Beach hangout?
Angel Cola.
For all your refreshing moments?
Angel Cola.
For your parties, get-togethers, events, and celebrations, enjoy a chilled bottle of Angel Cola. Radio Grandma, today is your day. Over to you.
Thank you. Enjoyment Cola.
Angel Cola.
The Enjoyment Cola. Enjoy all your moments and fun time with Angel Cola. This advert is FDA approved.
And they call me UJ. When you need a shoulder to cry, run on my pumping, so we try to suicide. Let bygone be bygone. I didn't see what the body gonna do. We go straight to stardom. I'm gonna take you to next level. My baby, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The energy next level. Back baby, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna take you to next level. My baby, oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't code next level. Excessive drinking can be detrimental to health. Not recommended for persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Ghana, asumdue man, omana, nyamedi ni tumi, nam, akenifo bisu tise, wasaje for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, anyone ekeka ho. Na de chance won say, or the nipa bebre na dua omaimu na omaya chede bebre. Sa chede bi ne koko. Chede bi ni sika kokko den chemo timber any de keka ho nanso no se yehwa a car ye bowo saa akyede hu no edoso mfaso a ebrɛ eyare hosem oman ebekɔ nanim a enye NPP enye NDC enye akuadonko anase enyom mu bia
yo ahwefo ne atiefo yeretua yendwumadi no so na ansa na yebefi ase no yenhwɛ won a won aso yen asen wo dwumadi mu na woreboa yen mekyerɛ angel bake ene den wo yebrudo telephone so 059-411-4719 ubetumi so afro won wo sa no mesu 026-422-7414 Angel Bakery, feel the taste maybe nkawa no na wani beje ho stations wo kura yen asen wo bo FM 10 Foridia Coast Opemu 90.5 FM Manso KFM 103.5 Techimang Cheers FM 105 Sunyane Angel 92.3 FM Sunyane OFM 107.7 Obuase Angel 96.9 Tamale Voice 93.9 Agonankwanta Republic 97.5 Nkoko Fresh FM Kadi Obo FM Asankregwa Rejoice FM 107.7 Mim Rabi 1 TV Kumase UAS FM 107.3 Hames Radio 106.5 Goso Edia FM Doma Ahinkro Yo Niane yeriba bedi hu nkomo yerehwe yen dwumadia yen atudin nkasa ho dan ne baba kasa ho ne ye baba kasa af omen nhyehyei yedibu so omenyi eno ne den eno ne manifesto ne ye ni obroni ba kira o kirase o se eye public policy document party bia ne nhyehyei odi egu apon so sa nhyehyei no efa ohawe wo men ni mu ene anu eduru enu nti wo hwe manifesto wa hu ohawe wo men ni mu nyina na wahwehwe anu eduru no wabɔ ne tɔw na ɔde ba bɛka kasape bi akyerɛw sɛ eyi na mapa ho ntama na mese mede ba bebu man na wɔde pa ho ntama no wie afei wɔde wɔn obi ho kwan na afei ebisebisa questions na yebobo ho na saa nkasa ho na ne yeba bedi na dwumadi a yeba bedi wɔn a aben wɔn hu ehu wɔn memu wa amanyosɛm ɛne economy ho nsɛm party nsɛm onyame ayen adom ebi waha ebi nso wo mfiri so ya wo mframem mekira wo bekaza wo zoom so ana Kumi Ansakwe or senior lecturer Department of Political Science you Dr. Ansakwe waha doc you make Dr. Ansakwe oye otijeni a wachira de wolego mbebro mfirihia aduanan na me wo ho emi ye school ni nti ne nkomo na be de we aye hwe ho afei doctor nti akwaba yo ofilate na waba anope ya ye hudo nti meja medawase ne odi so Dr. Abdul Jalilu Ateku or lecturer Department of Political Science me no ka say or English bruchiri mengmu or no niemba kasa or kasa wo Zoom yo efe miwura Bernard Oduro Techi or non so or chartered economist and National Youth Working Committee member of the NDC inti ono oyobia omansika nkonta na nhyehyɛ wa bi ngomu pa no bɛboa yɛn ɛsane sɛ ɔsan so yɛ NDC ni inti wo sɛ wo woje no konfo yɛn inti yɛbetie no afei nia odi so yɛ miwura Frederick Kofi Ameyaw na miwura yi ɔyɛ head of information permanent mission of Ghana in the United Nations oyobia wa bɔ no ho modin ye na wakwachi na owo United Nations miwura akwaba
yeja
say de mpeninga trase na mpeninga trase ye kɔ ye nkomo so ye nkomo no ye bien ne ye bedi kan ahwɛ ofane edikan na efiwa ye akɔ na etuso ye bien na edikan ye 2024 NDC Manifesto, a better solution to our problems. So we should NDC Manifesto what the abeto abonting ya so ababwa ebesi uyan ha unyina anu ana eye question a mesere se enam adwinum ye de nkomo ikoso so ababwa eye biribi papa bi ababwa yen ana yewu biribi papa bi bepu afi Jerusalem eye NDC wa na wo men amanyosoma ewo men mu ene o man hyehye ne ne ho nsem nyina no so NDC Manifesto yi ababwa yen ana question to you be what's a food crisis in Ghana, self-inflicted or act of nature? Osi wosha ncheye na aso ya wohwe kuyadwuma ani nuan so no ba bonten ba kire yin se okomasi na nititiriu eye serim yiwo esane se osuato wonyansu eniema bebre kutia eninti okomasi ho na bangden hyehyɛ pagu akwan aponso sɛ wɔrehyehyɛ ahyehyɛ niye sɛ wɔbɛhwɛ na sɛ ɔhawi wɔbɛsi wano na ɛno ho nkɔmmɔ ne ɛba bɛdi sɛ wohwɛ saa ɔkɔma asi wɔ sɛre mu so ɛyɛ yɛn ne yɛn ayɛ anaasɛ ɛyɛ ɔbaadeɛ na ayɛ mekyerɛ a ɛno na ɔsɛ self-inflicted so yɛn ne yɛn ayɛ anaasɛ act of nature anaasɛ esa no tse no nyankopon bo wiase no etore bi wiase sakra so nsakra ekoso wo wiase no ebi na akan ana so eye no ana nso se eye no yan sankomo yi na ne yebedi na yaren se ebre kora yekɔ hama no so eye zoom na ye ne yenwura Bernard Oduro akasa yewu miwura Oduro wotemenka kamen wam na mu se wo mframanum yewu miwura Oduro enche obeba na yere twen se ono baba ase na oba na wa baba join Dr. Nsakwe akwa ba bi o filate mi je so bi ahun ye wolate wodo wonda ice mu wo ho yewu NDC the one manifesto abeto abonten a manifesto no won atu ni din o say resetting Ghana, jobs, accountability, prosperity omeni wo say wo hwe won sem na won atintim a wo son so a o so omeni ne majagu ndi ete se wo dangani so ne awode ato ho say won botae esi won ani so no say wo be dang ne mani wo be ye niye ama nwuma ba nkuntabu aba na ye hu atoyen so once akasa no awunyina so bi
me da say o ma me kwan say me kan bi senya wasi aka no wabo modern say yenwura NDC ni Dr. Bernard Oduro yenwura Bernard Oduro bekasa na wachire nia was one manifesto no mu yi but senya wasi aka no one team one topic here
resetting Ghana, jobs, accountability, and responsibility. Many person may call Enumu Akasama war because I was a kind of. I saw when I watch one 7 years. And my person may can be for manifesto home.
Yo.
Manifesto home generally.
Yo, miracle.
So I said I'm about what questions I said why didn't the normally no no quarry of honor says, sir, a man yourself my for party so you see fear bro for her. In Tinyebe or ma Sebe, you see a mean dim ye. In time maybe to seek a crowd her. Now a bro for no son we see here no fire no. Anka eba elections and I say we elections be a what contesting obi a the name manifesto beba. Manifesto no is simply near ntia open to me. And then you audit to me no be ye. And the name manifesto no. Ni ntia fa to me mami. Ni ntia ye nyina yete ho na me de munyi mi se ohene. Ni ntia wonyi mi se ohene. Na me nya post no so me nya sa to me no so a nya me de sa to me no be ye. And then our friend manifesto no. Na brofo mu no wa fa no serious. Wa fa no serious pa. If you say Sasma Obekano, I say when you among a year contract, must sign a contract. Say Eba say when your man sign a contract. Say Eba say we didn't kunima and your kind I say we this so. When this year brief for bar what the barrier will say oh your trophy. One kind of carry. One fall saying yo okakeke 1 year. And this I don't know, one fan no serious pa wa bro for her. No quarry that one say ye fee sa among elections ye ache 51 50 hodman na ye elections party bahanum 47 48 49 and UGCC NFH and ye 47 and na CPP 49 e buy ache 10 bia what the manifesto ba no quarry woman say e san niyema binti ye fa manifesto no serious sanya efata
dan niyema nti na yemfa manifesto serious
ba konne se sebi yemu pi ni makenkan intino manifesto no normally no ewa kakra wo kyerɛw because so kyerɛ nia obeye na sɛ so hu man no fa yemu pi ni makenkan ye de brofo aye yenkro kasa madaro na sadina na sesa ye de brofo aye kasa obi aka nti wonte brofo a na wo yi wa fi mu na eni ye baako nia to say being say amanfo kasa koto aba one time hwe nsusu manifesto no ho asana won ato won aba de bi ache bra ye fi ase Fourth Republic ye fi ase Rollins be you say fi ase where elections say political science department will gone we fi no year research bi ne eba inti Rollins first election so winning na research our year no we say the people to aba for reasons and manifesto kura before Rollins time kura no men can be far before Rollins time for crampo no party bi ba hanum na one ejina yen sroma nya waka okrom no say to man sroma finyame na party no say sanka wo to aba won nya nipa no be ya ma oman no nti ene wo nti enso na what the kind say to mo sroma finyame and say yes man can say tasumu kra so ko for the party for so by to ma abe if you say abe hu won fa so I want to abe bia nche e na what the year we krofo na hwe manifesto kra na simple kaka wo final and what the year juma enti nyame pa kira na say yen memu no yen tam fa manifesto serious e san nyama horo yinti enti nya ehu hia say ejina shade bi say symbol na we no and e fa no more serious and as a din kra wo ye we but abrofo mu no manifesto hu hia pa because a contract a won ya man for a year so moto ma na ma metumi na ya me ditumi ne be yi ni nye to say bien so no say ni papi anya tumi wo manyimu after elections one be the man so but what buy no wonya tumi no enya nya what kind of wo be ye no e na wo ye Yes, my manifesto is dancing kura. Na we no say dancing kura. Papa Obonio and yen never manifesto mu na we ye. And inti amaye fa manifesto serious. Inti say be elections parties na the manifesto ba. Now yen sure say manifesto I want produce no. Won nyina na what tena ase I want dwe hu yi. And a two say wo wunye pa wo be this year and yet to clear.
Yo, sir, I'm so what's my can eto asumupa wa chire mu na yenhwe wo sonso ya nia NDC manifesto a won a chire wi hefa na wo gye di say e ka kasa bi a wonim say wo betumaye ana wontumenye yo
minye pa kan NDC ni bi kasa krasa na kasa fa
wo de kasa
obeba but na mom no men kan we nya wan kan de etasum
yo
Ejuma ye jobs resetting Ghana what's it what percent Ghana no yes ye hihye na ye pe juma na ye pe juma jobs accountability wundi to me kwa to me bia obedi no obebu hu akonta accountability and if so responsibility we are responsible bia ye nyere so ye asem bia ni ho me kwanso ya ni se wo hwe we yiye na wo tie NPP for den so so and also etasum
yo
enti manifesto de enchire obi akanya esese oka na say entam ka say nyehia ne say amanfo fa we serious na one kasa are they serious with what they are saying will they implement it enti etasum na enyechi no another question
so what's na NDC ne no wo hamaso na onkasa na free yehu na akwan me roduro yema wache de wo ba dwumadi so ye mangana wotemenka pro menwa na mehu se wo ho
Dog, very good morning. I'm Patrick. Almost what to say.
We are here. Onyame ne hene. Ya boni tawtawu. You. Ene den na wotwe atwa mu na ejabo ejane bai. Mo pa mo manifesto ho ntama ama ne NDC manifesto abeto abonten mo tintim mo woma no ne amudi ginan eye mo kasa ne gina so pa ne se o se mo reset the economy or the country and for a better jobs and all that mo na mo kasa aka say mame enhwe mafiri no na o say resetting Ghana jobs accountability and prosperity ni amukan munya we na den na kan mokoma na mokan ne se se na nanse nkofu hu anisu mu hu manisu ana motemu asum miura sire yimbibi ni ntie
Dog Dedica and Mamin Chair, my colleague panelist. Mamin Chair Dr. Ansakwe, Namin Chair Dr. Jalilu Atiku, Namin Chair Minia Frederick Kofi Amel. Now, straight to the point, said here, Dr. Ansakwe Ekayeno, all over the world, and political party be a petumia, and was on in a month for going to social contracts. So basically, manifesto is a social contract between the governed and the government. In as much as I will call the court system no, contract are enforceable no, and a breach of a contract result in a remedy. About political party organizations are social contracts. Basically, people may not be bold enough say sorry I could call because political parties be for certain provision in the manifesto. But the remedy at Memufo ne crow money say shabo manifesto on consistent basis. There's a standard deviation between promise and with delivery. Then the citizenry on every election day will choose to either retain you or get you out of power. Dog, what we say a very important question, sir. Your manifesto edit to during the 24th of August, you know, a prophetic mission, and that was based on scientific research. And now, me follow my statistical model, now project, you know. Now, before I zoom into straightforward to your question, no, my main chair, your pet in pen in food, from your flag bearer, your running mate, and the party rank and file. Proud to say you launch the main manifesto. No, don't forget to say on the 12th of August, you launch the youth manifesto. Ghana, because among all the political divide, no, in the current dispensation, no, the launching of the youth manifesto, a title, no, the pledge, you know, was also some kind of a novelty. Because all opinion pulls from the Economic Intelligence Unit, Alpha Barometer, Fixed Solutions, Standard & Poor, Moody, Global Info Analysis, Ghana no. Indicating say afia ba ye koto no, enema miensa and the best serve as a trigger. Nyema kese pa miensa. Basically the economy, jobs and education, and partly unemployment as part. Into economy, jobs / unemployment, any education. Sanya mamiensa we so fundamentally no nipa affect you in every economy, whether at the micro level or the macro level, no, the youth no. And statistically, Global Info Analytics edit to just say afia ba ye beto no between the ages of 18 and 44, 77% of the voting population. And it's a nipa 18 million beto aba. 77% of that voting population are youthful. And what informed the NDC thinking, they said, if 77% of the entire voter registered beto abano, then we needed a specific manifesto that will speak to the heart of the youth. And it's also more. In the youth manifesto, we touch on employment by 24-hour economy, we touch on apprenticeship program, we touch on tertiary education, talking about scholarship for person with disability, free admission for first-year student in the all university, whether it's a technical or the mainstream university. After also into technology and entrepreneurship, we sought to have a specific tailor-made policy for the young people. And about 24th August, and they launched the main manifesto, they call the political battle for election 2024. In that manifesto, they launched, the team was basically said resetting Ghana. You focus on jobs, accountability, and prosperity. And babies are said, why do we reset Ghana? Because Obi Kase, baby, or before Ghana, no, why into why the need for reset. Now, dog, Abraham will statistical analysis regarding Domeko Abrinyane Medina. No, who the two just say election biano adie di wakotene pa ye niema mienu. One, the national influencing factor. Adie affecting minu nyina and with specific focus no benching on the economy. Ye dada si kasema setna, ye boy your purchasing power parity, your income level, your standard of living, your cost of living, exchange rate, policy rate, international reserve of the government. So put us together and constitute two macro factor at the national level. Dog what stands to see from Kase beyond the national influencing factor, no, and also share constituency specific factors. Until Fababi to say Domeko Abrinya, which Nema na ye Kase no, se Kobasa ye kwako to abana, Nyankupo amana bibia ansisa, na ye NDC for ye Nema ya, Domeko Abrinya no parliamentary no, ye bet mania 50.04%, ye no NPP for benya 48.95. And Oba Medina constituency. Oka say Enyeman San NDC Enyema Yene Bibia Sasan. We can garner 69.3%, whilst MPP at 30.01%. Now wait say Afia ba ye kwa kotono nipa dada sika sema setna a influencing factor. And dada setna mun semo a dog ye kaino. And also yan krabata mi no. Ye shano the micro level. At the micro level no. Ye fano individual household and firm. And it's a funny pan crankra. Or the Satuni bottom wa dog, dear Sunny Cossier. So, or the Satuni bottom, then in Sakosi Biswa. And any a bit Nakasan standard of living a koyi bar. Baldo, so the Satuni bottom, then in sense, so there, and any about the cassette, the cost of living no air affecting negatively. On the other hand, Senipaye, Jumana, Onyesi Katuni bottom, and no Buama income level, Ecosro. We are talking about the FNO, PPP, which is the purchasing power parity of the individual. So we individual is in change we are now about household. The case a household that it said the work where busu ko ano ko into ko busu eduma abusuano ye die te sen aye to o ma sen no mo kɔ no obi kostu no hiamwo a sen abusuano betimi aboa no uwie no adɔ na we escalate ko the firm at the firm level no o hwese se industries companies running almost factors of production, the fixed ones and the variable ones, what is the outer, what is the impact on them, and also escalate to the national level. Don't put two near together. NDC, yeah, war a specific committee be a friend of the lab. The lab for the past 2 years, Yen Flabber, His Excellency John Dramani, former President Mahama, born toa, Ghana, Bisa Ghana for you now say. An improved version of election 2020 manifesto to the People's Manifesto. And the manifesto number 1 was based on the various the course and I inform me manifesto to August 24.
Naana Wakano to Yaso Honey Uncle. You Nefri no how no. Yababa Mura
Dog
when him yo. Yo, say mebe studio na Dr. Ansakwe na uguso chira wadwene yo mpacha o meyento nka ne awoka no tiaso
hello
sani NDC no sa akasa
do mpacha temenka
asemba konye enforcement enti ne wakane de asembia ni ho wakane na nokare na mum nokare wo mu no se wonye NDC ni na wonye NPP ni
yo mpacha mi wura naba owura tachi mpacha yeto nka
dog but I say faction network Ghana your internet connectivity pour across everywhere in Timon fan cheme
Bajo kasa yeriti o
hello
yato nka ndi kasa
good thank you very much don so share your manifesto ni mo a you crystallizing into two forms the Ghana we left for the NPP because anytime be na opese who postulate who go into that you only build a legacy on the past. Enti Ghana Ben and NDC abaya na was so from 2009 to 2017 January no edija ye NPP for na Ghana obi a pensioner ni sika ya mfa paso antum Ghana and sida sub bond a turn for domestic money market and the capital market bond market no amada say Ghana ko negotiate obi bia o ye bond holder no ye pese bia paso tu gotum Ghana for the very first time no ye jade e friend no economic buffers or financial cushions and financial cushions no na be ye den abra NDC aban free so no financially ye ja give Ghana infrastructure investment fund ye ja Exim Bank ye ja Esla ye ja Heritage Fund ye ja Sinking Fund obi baby say Saniema way nyina NDC aban ye no what was the concomitant economic effect on the next government eboma aban no ba ye no ye ja scorecard papa Ghana abra na NDC ja akonya na kono na ukra 392 pesos na utimi to $1 Ghana na Ghana ka na ye die no se wo de ye ka ni nyina compare your gross domestic product memfa na se NDTV oman a NDTV ton ho ajapade nyina no de compare ne ka o de a nti your gross domestic product na se wo de ye ka compare no a na ye nru even 72% nti when na ye Ghana ye di ja ye man na ye Ghana nso so a a lot of state-owned enterprise, a lot of parastatals, they were making profit. When a Ghana, a NDC aban, you near Kukodro said, Yatu about your Kuko, and Yenu NPP for, minor can ye, Betina Morane, and now Yaka, you know. Minor ye handing over the Jay Yenu
Mujao, what's the name of Papa? So, Mujao NPP for how was Yana?
Precisely. Dog obedience me akase o running mine o running no thing because about financial economy every economy or government is running government and so your balance sheet biana your asset your liability and to said there balance sheet containing asset and liability no there were certain debt so met me akase ye dija mine no dog eno na masini pia ka kire wo se abra ye be fra konwa so no. Now the debt to GDP, the rebase economy now, it was roughly around 56 to 60%. When a car, young Smith in your castle, ye dija mine. It yes, ya live the country abroad, yaka. But so the car, ye dear no, compared to the debt sustainability analysis of the NPP abano, a balloon year in 2022 to 104%. In Tabra na year NDC, you hover around 56-60%, no. Yenu NPP for balloon here at the almost around 4%. And no can be and IMF and the two Ghana
corruption. Mudi bibi jawo hana ana momoba and more record ye clean.
Precise on grounds of honesty. Maminka Okasa video NDTV now no say no government in the world. I'll bet me Okasa better running a buyer. Corruption by zero. And to me see. And not just corruption being zero. But the ability and the commitment to fight corruption. Obekanokra, under the Fourth Republic, the only political party are under him, under his watch, party appointee, ye prosecute you no nya jail term, John Dramani Mahama, yeni apani buga peli. And I can throw the challenge to yeni NPP for say, omo anka so mo party member baako, all controvertible evidence. Ebi adanse say, where there a corruption infested deal. A been see that. And yes, NDC no about corruption.
I'm say network no. Dr. Ansakwe.
NDC towards fighting
na we hu baby am ko yo owura na samba yo miwura waba tuaso na ye monitor na afi mpanimfu wa hanso mrem yo.
Yeah, lawyer, dog, go beside me question, sir. And near my bit is corruption, so ye the big jaya now. And I'm a mercy subia, sir. And now say human institution, ye nipa, not sabi no. These things are bound to happen. But on comparative basis, so far the political will, the commitment of the NDC, then in fighting corruption, Ubiabedi Adanse said,
Monso, a honso na e haumo. Na yensa yenhwe bibi foforo baby the corruption and waka ho asemi wo de no to nchen a yen say bibia ye kasa wo size of government na mo de net den asuane
good under the Fourth Republic obibi obey very honest part of political bigotry no be kind of cry His Excellency Akufo-Addo of my way na metimi aka say e ba say yempa onipa dodo mfa running man in fact, we're running an elephant-sized government. And not only that, dog, your friend be OGM, which is Office of Government Machinery. And the Office of Government Machinery, you know, regional coordinating offices, national security, so putting in together a constitute Office of Government Machinery under the Fourth Republic on consistent basis. Make me for maybe to say Nigeria, US, China, etc. So for the population of Ghana, the size of GDP, relative to Sikeko OGM, Ghana, Egypt, Morocco, Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya. Which I will say, the size of the government, you know, NDC had the minimal size of government. What they are not on China. Budget and OGM, no, we were far better and lean and moderate in that approach.
Na memra studio kara mesa ba ho enche me ba ho ne yan atoya so.
Thank you, Doc.
You Dr. Zakwe wa kire say NDC wo bo wo ho modiye na edu ba bi no so wo hawo ene ho niema wo hwe NDC won manifesto na wa kyerɛkyerɛ so te sɛ wo so wo hwɛ nnwuma wo bebu nnwuma ama mmabun ne ho niema sa nkomo no wo hu ne den
me no meka sɛ papa no wakasa pa sɛ NDC ni wakasa yi pa sɛ meka NDC mpanyefo ho a anka meba na baso wakasa ya wakasa ya ama party no na mmom no Ghana no ɛsosen NDC
yo
saa na sɛ party fofini pa so ba obekasa enti me mepɛ sɛ mekasa sɛ ordinary Ghanaian Ghanaian oni NDC oni NPP
yo me wura kasa sa
kasa sɛ na emma ni PNJ akrache for na party politics na politicians in no because nyokani na no ebia sanya NDC me kasa no kasa na mom no politics no and economy pe
yo
when ni me pi one man say can me say you're wrong because me nkasa ma NPP one so why ni me peer to sing
yo
NPP so ni me peer to sing and until no ni a seen say Ghana ni ordinary Ghanaian no onji to mu bia ndi enti ni peer wan join say we nyina wo basa akwesi basa akwabra basa enti ni obenya fimu pe na obi adwen ho eno embu oman if I miss say manifesto yene de enkyere hwe you need to know say ye betumi I enforce ana na no gie no tu mu
doc
unfortunately yen enforce so okasa as a party activist because one thing is very good resetting Ghana jobs accountability and prosperity near NPP before so can say ye here resetting Ghana and yere ko yen achi na mo yen ko forward na yen way na won nyina no won fa focus ma ordinary Ghanaian no
yo
two na won nyina waka no paper so no e look fine but then and yet implementable
yo
what papa won ye way no nyina
yo mira so na owura ameyaw mira watena se ache fachem ebise minimum say wo ba wonso obebue wo page wo ho mira ma to opon na didi ne yenko
opani we dey medawase na machia wahwefo ne wetiefo nyina
yo
na mafa ofidie so achia party Frankatuni outside the leader of the party Dr. Mahmoud Baumia nyamema na hodin ene the Obonechidom Dr. Matthew Opoku Pempe na party mpanifo nyina na menchia mpanifo ene omudin komo
miwura me yaw wo besom na mensentimu matiefo se miwura me yaw ka se ogina ho ma MPP nti ono nso bekasa ma MPP nti miwura tua wasam so
medasi I think that the issue of manifesto no no kre ya mpem bebre no yen shedan fa ya dwen koho sa. But I think that the dynamics no as sakakra in recent times people are paying attention to the manifesto and ebia in the years past no and anagana for shedan for more adwen kwaswa and nyom do adwen kwaso. In fact per our constitution no, every president must submit its social and economic coordinated programs to Parliament for every 2 years. And it emanates from the directive principles of state policy, I think Article 34, it is a social and economic coordinated program. It comes from the manifesto. And your manifesto, no, and I bet you now they are called to Parliament, say, for the 4 years I gonna for their mameno. We need their mayor. So manifesto is an important document. Unfortunately, we didn't pay attention, but now we are paying attention to it. Because we share command air coso na saying, we realize say Ghanaians are reminding the NPP what they did or what they promised they would do or maya or munye. Now, when it comes to fulfillment of the manifesto, as far as its implementation, I think that the new patriotic party, the government of His Excellency Naana Jane Opoku-Agyemang and Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, they have been extremely transparent and honest with the good people of this country. Because the year 2020, we might recall, say it was the, I think, Oko Alliance Française where you were auditorium be one chain. I think it's Arts and something auditorium. One chain was airport area more. He was there and accounted to the people, the good people of this country. The NPP are buying a year as far as your promise now, your promise here in our manifesto and what we have been able to do. Some over kaya and or itemizing your my any the that is why NPP can say about over 80% of our manifesto promises in 2016 were implemented. And he doubled down on this or press engagement. So when it comes to fulfillment and implementation of your manifesto, the records are that at least more than 80% of our manifesto promises. And only the NDC has never been able to do. I was hoping and say maybe at the civil society and Penifua Moman can be beside John Dramani Mahama. Say your man wa kwenya say obey your man penny o share about 2012. And your man obey your man penny 2013. And then now ultimately as far as your manifesto is concerned.
Oh, me just says uncommon day. Abato na year 2016 abato. It was uncommon. And then a Ghana for they assessing as a mirror. Quarters energy one home. And here on
one hand. On the other, they say at the end of the day that determination will be I'll get there. But I'm talking about say where we are now what's our Bassi and Tony Swabano. We need to ask that question. But you made a fantastic point and it dovetails into what I will say moving forward. Now let's come back to the issues of a NDC manifesto. To be frank, Openikas and Dog, now can we say Emuye. I don't think this is the most weakest and poorest manifesto this country has ever witnessed. But a manifesto that is promising 24-hour economy in disco, nightclubs, is that a manifesto that we need to accept?
Oh. Okay, disco.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Maybe Musemo bought the statement or more launch the manifesto. In the 24-hour economy, I see disco, any nightclubs, bear 24 hours. Is that a manifesto that we need to accept in this country? No, I don't think so. I don't really think so.
I don't know why.
Now, what's actually manifesto ni biwa? Dog, the clear woman say the manifesto, and I will give you about bear 10 of them. I must say a boss of Mubeba Beya Magana for NPP about a year already. Dear Dikan, almost say a boss says or Moba. Oko a year resetting Ghana no.
Yeah.
Point 17. Also implement money a unique pension scheme for informal sector workers such as commercial drivers, commercial motor cyclists, Okada, small scale miners, farmers, fishermen, etc. This is a policy that is already being implemented by SNITs. Omo implemented about 2 years ago. Omo friend is SEED. Self-employed enrollment drive. That is number 1. Opening number 2, about job creation. I'm saying the National Job Creation Initiative, point 3, National Apprenticeship Program. The National Apprenticeship Program is a policy to generate self-employment by providing free technical and vocational training for young people in various crafts. Trained apprentices will be issued with appropriate certification and supported with startup capital and equipment to set up their businesses. Just about 3 days ago, Ewo Techiman, the Nanado Baumia government and the Youth Employment Agency, a training 10,000 youth of Ghana. Ebimu ye hairdressers, ebimu ye plumbers, ebimu ye painters, ebimu ye POP. All of them were given certification by ATVET.
It's my missile.
We some startup equipment. Some of them could do Mujuma say be Angel TV Moko Kovaya. Our Techiman. Last I think Tuesday also. So even in their manifesto, the things that they are promising, no, the NPP is already implementing them.
You, Mira, Yanshan say, near what canon say, near Abengian, and this will be a baby, son organic. You, and near Emma, a good near Dennis say, Ubi to my year, Bubi Shimoding. So we cried your pang for Baba, into win ye say, near Andy's Vokane, Warban Wabaya, so what to abama no obe ya ebebu omen and as isan say MPP for starting di enti so obi ya den saka sa na wa dwene kire wa na miura
senka MPP ya manyuku anko onsam ba se yento ne so aba you could have said that. The New Patriotic Party is contesting in these elections. Okay? So policies are implement here dada no adentina aban no all year no yento sa aban no ntonkone ni yemfa wa wo se afi na wo ba obeba be no enfambra. Why? The things that you promised that you will do is already being done. What's it oba no be yanti? No. There's a policy in place that is being implemented by a government, and that government is coming back as a party to be voted for.
Bra mo power mo ba be getumen mo se corruption mo be hwe mo be tiase mo be ye ho mo be corruption mo dia kwa ni mo sen won edi nti oke se oba obetu keta se no pro asia why bone ya no nye bone ye anani oka ne nteso oka
come me flow yan ka mo say
about flow
you are the host. May I itemize about 15 of their promises that are being implemented. And my point would have been that at the end now say Yema NDC back, more especially Dramani Mahama, when the things that they have promised to do are being done by the NPP. That's the question. Where here as in Sebe I'm Tomagana for. I'm so about 3 SHS on being here me. 3 SHS no being so on Jim Dino. It couldn't have been done in the next 20 years. And that is the whimsical promise of a desperate politician, according to Dramani Mahama. And that Oman Penin and called 2 billion and can invest it into 3 SHS. That same person is promising in his manifesto. So about 3 SHS. When a government has implemented that policy for 8 good years, and this Albany the challenge is what 3 SHS only the only me and survey. That's the point I'm making. So why should Ghanaians have GDO in him? He mentioned, Techi mentioned, say, Amuye Youth Manifesto, the pledge, and that they are committed to creating job for the youth in this country. Is that what he said? Sesano kan dia Ghana for mun tie ni ye se nyen dada. Oman panin dada Dramani Mahama. Wa ye oman panin da. Emra no ye oman panin no. Ghana mebunu ka say omunye adwuma nye. Okatre Ghana mebunu say onye magician to provide them with jobs. He's not a magician to provide them with jobs. Majority of our youth, omo call nursing schools ni teacher training schools no. They are youth, and they. Allowance is a name so massive kakra mu cost to amtimi edi hwehwe mo hafan. Otwamu. He cancelled them. And now he's coming to tell us, say, well, pledges so best supporting the youth. And you rather some, and you know, he can be trusted. Open what I say. A bio 3 SHS and Keba, a bio Mabun and Keba Bomo. Open Dr. Casano, Sisabi, ye Nima can or Maui, your doors, and pay attention to the manifesto. That is true. But there was an individual, there was a political party, there was a government who vowed and committed, say, Obema Ghana Bebunu Bia Kontuaso School, as he Kasemu Nya Kwensidie. I'm talking about His Excellency Naana Jane Opoku-Agyemang and Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. NDC for Katina say, and the principal person, or yes, I did Dramani Mahama, sponsored adverts against 3 SHS. And says 3 SHS cannot be done in this country. And that a 419, it cannot be implemented in the life of this country. And this policy was targeted for the youth of this country. Naana Jane Opoku-Agyemang for his first term, his first year, September, our West African secondary school, he implemented that policy, targeted for the youth. Now we have an individual coming to tell us, say, on the Oba, he's for the youth. That cannot be the case. On Kanche Temoyo Penino, how many jobs he created for the youth? He should give us the numbers. You can't just say may provide the jobs. Give us the numbers. How many jobs did you create for the youth? then we can have a faith and believe in you, say you have the credibility to do that. We have created over 2 million jobs, majority of them are for the youth of this country. So what is he talking about? He has been a president before. So, but ye can't abide any man penny. Sabi emebunu nani ku omo ho na wa ye omo wa ba omo ho a Naana Jane Opoku-Agyemang ni Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and the NPP administration across board from John Ajekum Kufuor. We implemented the National Youth Employment Program, NYEP, for the first time, targeted for the youth of this country. Yenya nurses for Yenya Kufuor nurses, Kufuor teachers, it was implemented by NPP administration. And then we know say there was National Innovation and Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, NUIP. Yenya mamno mebunu amu free sebi srem eba the south in Kranu Kumase sebi omo swaswa de efre mu kaya yofo. Me kan obuo mu ne ani die mu a sebi mani nsa obia me kan wa brasem me na gu me sada me sayem na me na gu fom. Sebi your man penny dada John Dramani Mahama no free slim. Majority of these young people come from where he hails from, to the south. So a pan, so I'm fine and your mukaya, you know. So a pan, you can't treat say.
Can't you?
I know the more Majuma. Today we are talking about a government and individuals, sir. So we want building a institution to train them to move away from Kaya.
So
even in your constituency here,
so what's someone na me miss out in some being of say what can someone be near what patch and say Ura Mahama ne niama ba wonga show manifesto no ne nia wonga ntuma bra wo abengmun enunti ense emfata sebe se ne kuro nya kokuduru se oba be petumi em se wo kasa ne
yes
na mamimisa wo yeti Ura Bawumia o se workers are crying what is akasa no and they etwa ne ntwae fast for question not to also when the fundamentals are weak no exchange rate no expose you. Are we out of the woods yet? Oba also baba be shed dollar cedi no ma muaye ding sa time no refie konwa so no cedi to dollar 1 to 4 enya sa enne ye wo hefa me je this ankomo no ekopa wa adwene woreka so Ura Mahama on chire nyuma wo creative say muma create 2.3 million or so you na munso niam creating ahene aka nipa ahene woni nyuma na efe wo hwe NPP manifesto a mo de ade bi bai mo say the aging act wonga nyin mo de ye mere bi aba ba bua won asiesie won asetenam wo hwe mo manifesto na sa de no the aging act ene niam wonga nyin baba bua na so wo babu obi a ade na woman haircut me Ura manu ato
me dansi me nko program a hosted bisa basic questions started
so wo de wo ma me list nti me ma wo na fe yakọ nganim ndi na me se kire oto wo
de edi kan
e bia me mo bo na ye
no me macho ni nyina wa me kai pa again we are looking at the next performance of the two political parties in this country. The New Patriotic Party yenka say yebo a ye hye nyina ye di nyina so and maminjin tum prekope say the economy is not in a good state. What I say ye di tum say what kind the budget statement read in
the internet moba Ghana for man moba
yeah patcho I need him man so o share budget statement a ye kind in 2021 for 2022 paragraph 20 o man penin Naana Jane Opoku-Agyemang o di tum prekope say Ghana for him. He even mentioned that Ghanaians are suffering. And these are the things that keep him awake at night. What I say? And then number one. Number two, Oman Penny that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, 2022, in April 7th, Pentecost auditorium, baby. He accepted, say without a cause, Ghanaians are going through a lot. Ghanaians are suffering. Just in recent time, the finance minister apologize for what is going on in the DDEP. So we accept said there are challenges and that Ghanaians are suffering. Now no question that means say press engagement no unya da TV and say oba hobia. A journalist asked the question, said some time ago, we question obizamina. that you told us that nurses are suffering, carriers are suffering, are suffering. Today, what is the case? And the vice president and the flag bearer and leader of the New Patriotic Party accepted that, yes, it's true, that even now Ghanaians are suffering. But even when Ghanaians are suffering, look at the interventions that we put in place. You can't discount that. In the midst of all our sufferings, public and civil workers are still being paid. In the midst of all our sufferings, your light is so. In the midst of all our sufferings. In the midst of all our sufferings, allowances, yedima teacher for, nurse for, omuko training school, yedima. In the midst of all our sufferings, sabi ye kuma any mamo, to a so school, free for 8 good years. In the midst of all our sufferings, in the midst of all our sufferings, triple and quadruple, leap support, yedima sabi, and penifua for mobrawa. We have done that in the midst of all our sufferings. Even in the midst of all our sufferings, the cushion that we have given to the Ghana, now you say, "Okay, yeah, your friend be go opportunity go, growth opportunities." Yeah. Devoting 8 billion to the SMEs in Ghana. As we talk now, 90% of all businesses are SMEs in Ghana. 70% of them are contributed to gross domestic products. 82% of all manufacturing companies are SMEs. Yamomu 8 billion. Some Juma. In the midst of all our sufferings, these are the things that we are doing. And now, again, on the exchange rate. Now, no, Omampenia Bedi Echiri, now Obua Naana Jane Opoku-Agyemang amane 2 francs. Like I say, if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. At that time, not for 3 consecutive years, the budget deficit was in double digits. Inflation was about 15%. Now we show your foreign reserves are not swatting. Now we were struggling. Doomso was costing us $2 million every single day to businesses, according to Institute of Statistical and Social Economic Research. So the fundamentals were weak. In 2014, the cedi was the weakest currency in the world. In fact, we keep for 40%. Now when you come back and you look at today, the fundamentals are not strong. They are weak today. Inflation is about 20%. Debt to GDP is over 80%. And why are the fundamentals weak? It's because of what the world experienced. A global pandemic that had a cascading effect and impact on the economy. The economy, as it were, the fundamentals of the world's economy are not as strong as they used to be. And that's a fact. So yes, the fundamentals are weak now because of a hit, something that struck the nation. And that is why 27th of March 2020, the President of the Republic, His Excellency Naana Jane Opoku-Agyemang, made a profound statement. Or share any reporter on your free Bank of Ghana. So time now your GDP was about 6-7%. Now it reduced by 2.5%, 2.25%. Then he said, sir, from the analysis now and looking at the trend of things, say COVID that was March 2020, at the height of the COVID, the economy will die. And if the economy dies, we know how to bring back the economy to life. But what we do not know is to bring back life. We've lost. This was a profound statement. That was even at the time when the GDP was 2.25%. GDP by 0.14%. Because of the COVID. So, and then fundamentals in a weakness, exchange rates, exposing. It's true then, and it's true now. But the truth of the matter is, and the good news is that we are coming out of. And you said it, you alluded to it today. See, if you feel, that was your word. What I said. So that tells you, said, we had John Dramani Mahama as a caretaker president when Ghana had not suffered any global crisis. Not even regional crisis, not even domestic crisis. When he took over from Omampenia, Namifani Krensi, John Evans Atamos, this economy, that economy then, Doomson and Kahumbi. At the time he took that office, he took us to Doomson number 1. Number 2, just so you know, his first State of the Nation's address in 2013. I see that statement made by him just because of the wage bill. Dramani Mahama told Ghanaians say, "On to me boom money because of the size of the wage bill." And for that matter, scale wo nyina no. Ono ankasa ahwe ama nam no aka ama na kotu dompe. And this is an individual without crisis who couldn't manage the economy. And now that we are in global crisis and we are going through challenges, you want us to bring him back for what?
Yeah, ni awo kani nyina no monso mu wosinto.
Menka se ni sinto.
NDC nso wosinto.
But o carry yemi enu.
Na wo reka se ni awoye a won antuma anyenti ente so wo mo ba. Monso monsem ni bi ni gu abonten. Mabun dodo anso na monten ujedi.
Of course I understand that.
The Aging Act amusu mo bebo won anyin mpanimfo ho ban na boa won. Mama won haircut ma Chief Justice no wo picket wo Finance Ministry. Eno ya asempa ntia mama mra.
Dabi enya asempa. In fact before
ma mentwe wadwene nkwa de ba ko bio so ma asem no ukan uso mo de mafiase na moye no ho niema excuse de obi abeti mama
excuse for what
COVID no ho niema
COVID is not an excuse with the greatest of respect
COVID is not
an excuse Dabi we say no yenjina ho Dabi
COVID
dog yenjina COVID is not an excuse dog
COVID no enyam nkwan na kam
Dabi COVID is not an excuse COVID is not an excuse
Dabi
no and the mean jintu
ma me so me nkasa biye ukasa no me ma ho nkwan
COVID is not an excuse
COVID if some mukasa na Russian Ukraine war COVID ene ho niema nia me pese me kirewo ne se enye Ghana nkwan ena saa ohawi ebese nwonkom
nokre
iyo nti adenti na eno de yentie se eno de ehaw mo enu nti mo de wonto abamam na obi de wenyo ohaw bia mo enyo ohaw you me de masem ni wie mo enyo ohaw no issue of corruption eye den na mo matra NDC for Transparency International report that
first of all
you
I don't think it's fair for you to say COVID is an excuse. It's not. You see,
na mekan ebia Debbie na mekan one asamuna mekan na say magina so
Gina so is the reality.
Yes, say ugina so ya eno nkire say nea wo ka no say what you say enya no.
So I no cry say COVID had an impact.
Ewo ho na nea me so wunim say enya Ghana nkwan na COVID kan.
So the point is that omo akom they haven't felt the impact of COVID.
Na wo hwe wo de toto ho a ebi mu so abo modern in Ghana na no say ba na den. Ebi abo modern in Ghana.
Give me an example of a country. Give me an example.
COVID.
They are okay now. Give me an example.
And yes, we are okay. Now, me say, won abo wo modern Ghana.
And I'm saying, give me a country.
You share francophone. We should won figures.
You. The Edika number 1. Francophone. That would mean like Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire.
Yeah.
Take Senegal and Cote d'Ivoire. At the time now, COVID by their financial crisis no, and now more financial sector no, then crash here. Okay, their financial sector had not crashed at the time when COVID had come. At the time now COVID by no, they were not paying excess capacities, take or pay. Almost every year we were paying $1 billion.
Juba doesn't know how.
Or how? And then their currency is anchored on the euro in France. And that is fundamental, that is key. I don't know, why do we discount that? Said again, I am brave with our currency because they are quantum crow. I know there are a group of 8 countries that have come together almost spending a year safer. And that safer, no money so France. Euro. So how do you compare such an economy to Ghana's economy?
Corruption.
Yeah. Corruption. Also transparency.
Yeah.
A perception.
Perception.
Now, wait. Perception. Because John Dramani's administration, under his administration, we've had Obia or Survey or
Mbacho, some na ayu wadam for na ba hamano so. Mr. Amiyaw, you, Mbacho Kasa. Mr. Dro, fetch him. Mr. Amiyaw, fetch him. Yo. Obebaso. Now what you? Yes, Mr. Dro. Mr. Amiyaw, try come out Obebaso. No Oberman. Obakasa. You.
Hello, dog. Hello.
Kasa.
Okay, the edika no me ma to me boatie bi nua am ya on submission no. But I am here say the summary of the submission in an element of working contradiction.
You, Mr. Meow.
My key point is His Excellency former President John Dramani Mahama.
Corruption.
What they mampeni den tiaba.
Who say a perception?
It's a perception. And transparency according to the report.
Yeah.
It's not a perception no mujinasu no.
Nti jinasu ya na perception ye jinasu di buo manga na say perception dan
I'm not downplaying it. Neither am I discounting it. It's extremely important.
Okay.
What I say. But I'm saying that see we are going into an election and we are considering two political parties.
But you jinasu 1 minute. You Miura Brasona we are now Mr. Amia Atiaso. You Miura Bonita Umay. You. Mr. Dro Techi, I'm say yet to come.
Dog me tell can met me abem.
You Bremu.
Dog de kan ma to me boatie mi nua amia kasa no nyina. But so kasa men summarizing the totality of the submission now. I will put it say mi nua amia and the political party in the government they are working contradiction. It's very simple. Obi say mi nua amia say and maybe 9 years ago, Mampen near Bedi Achia no 2 franc NPP, MK. So, Casa fundamental be a week, maybe a chemu. Now, your fat forced it to me to $1. Now, never catch them and said me here 16 city to tradition. Number 2, Miniam ya emeki assumption say Eba National Apprenticeship Programmer just 3 days ago. NDC making a policy direction so obey improve upon it. With the greater of respect, dog, my main phone call Ghana your cons.
ne hamana hawe nti ye be Miura so mu na yenko afiri no so ne Dr. Ateku Jalilu wo so ya me yento nka.
Hello, good morning.
Yensa kan na waba afiri so.
Yo, Doc, me that's
NDC manifesto na. Me je say o wa hwehwe niema wom. He fan na kan wokoma na wonimu say wo bituma ye. He fan so na wonimu say nia wakan de wakan keke. Baby ya ufi.
Yo, me that's senior.
Chira me niema bi. Make say baby ufi a. We political scientist. Chira me niema bi.
Yo, me fa wati wafidi tuna minchia wati fo nyina. Na minchia me boss Dr. Ansakwe ichi obiane panelist na omo woso and ya meka say last week discuss NPP manifesto na me can be say for me I'm looking at the beer ebetumi a kire say be a new thing ben na eba na me can say going to a mancha da ade a betumi aye turn around say call me can say na me be pray wo mu a na idea ye did all the time. So this time following the conversation na one thing na make me can say NDC na NPP so mobile platform so I mean some so eboa ema amanfo ehun bibia ye wo share NPP manifesto I share last week no a and one say oma penti certain dark for the NDC any omo economic effects bia from omo perspective ni omo aya omo aboa was omo ye na che say bibi papa bia eni effects NDC mu over the past na omo be inherit ye say OTA NDC so a panel say was also presented a similar thing. Union of free NPP no be busa say a dime partner NDC. So I think that it do be I was as a government, as a political party, so per se to about amount sincerity there in governance. And no between Dr. Ansakwe Dika Kabibi say manifesto we nyina echi omo ye nyina no. Wankasa is not important to Okasa is very important, and in the developed economies and developed world no idea omo gina so eto aba. But yeno akwai say bia manifesto be no, but a true implementation I implemented. So citizens do not see even the need for any political I say manifesto say the so basically no I never say we are just scratching the surface. But I think we need to look at the facts, because one, the share NDC make say about 70% of Nemana or Mabubo Adia Nema Yaya 70-80%. So just like Ushemwa, the same NPP so repeat. I mean, it's just the English language in a never be exercise. So what you say, but the facts don't say
NDC Ghana problems no and we are na wo ho enu nti na wo behu say oyiye no oyiye na me je say wonchi say obi betuma ye biribi a obi reye na wa be hye mu kana na wa ye ne fefefa mfom so ben na
sa pepe nanka say intermeka say sincerity say you have to give credit to where credit is due. So you don't just come to paint everything dark. We share we tell you free and MPP or can say a day and an MPP for NDC. But the fact is that we share at the time now NDC living office now inflation rate now about 15%, and the inflation rate at the same acquire to be 54 to almost 55%. They say at this about to around 20, just a little over 20% in the A. So what you say? We share that there are so many economic program and all that. Let me be brief. Also UGMC, first world class first hospital. Let me be brief. Bank of Ghana Hospital, regional and district hospital. Let me be Roman these are things young I see our mind. So we shouldn't always paint everything black. We share atwabo. Is it not the NPP that is managing it? So what you see? So basically, electricity coverage now it was about 60.5, right, across the country. During the MDC time, no, almost the echo 83.2%. What we'll be expecting is say NPP be say okay, no now coverage 83%. Yes, so different 83%. This is what we want to be seeing. So what you say? So there are so many things. I to me say abambia ba or man ye bibia or mine. Another I was saying correctly say there was a economic crisis like AC 2008-2009, which affected country for several years, about 7 years or so or more. So what you say? So we have experienced economic crisis before. It's not only the pandemic. So during the NDC time, they have experienced economic crisis. We have also gone through economic crisis. So effects so we should be very sincere to the fact. Nigeria say we share about 70-80% of the NDC. It's just like the same thing. NPP last week I said it. We share. They talk about reducing hardships. And there all the parties in Aba Omuka Wasem. We share MPP manifesto a womb. And there previous manifestos, previous government. There almost say to me NDP ensure macroeconomic stability is not a new thing. If I say restore fiscal and debt sustainability, restore investor confidence. Yes.
Party bi abaye ne fam de ba bi wo ho nso ya to sin na ho niema ekoso nyina yenhwe NDC manifesto yenhwe adwene mra wo so wo behwe amanyuma aba na wo hwa is an one previous performance and what it be so someone work on will be to my and 24-hour economy near me woman will be to me I just say baby and we share me person will share job creation 24-hour economy na hwe governance wo kan bibi wo ho wo say wo be hwe say wo be tew asoafo no ministers no obeto so NPP dey MZC 60 obaako dey 50 obaako dey 60 sa nteto so no ene wo behwe wo nyina so wo behwe na constitution won asesam no ho niam sansam no wo ka no so ya de a ye hia na edikan na so wo betuma ye isansa sa party nyina wo ho na wo mem ha na niema bi hawo ye wo ka se wo nyina nso uti NDC a wo so wo behwe environment ene ho niam NPP nso ya kire won adwene wo ho so NDC for ne wo kan nyina wo betuma ya na
you talk me that say nkana me ba ho em say putting the two manifestos together no nia metumi hu say at least for the NDC manifesto mi yi inema minu a metumi aka say it stands out. Last week going through the NPP manifesto nyina no me conclusion is say something that will be remarkably different from inema ayeta yedda. But for the NDC manifesto no I can see two things be metumi hu say one and one say 24-hour economy no is something now implemented and who understand it the impact now 24 economy between ayat say Britain we have such an economy so it tends to boost or enhance and never be between supporting businesses public organizations so when you have your economy running at 24 hours so it means that it's a very major thing about me reducing your unemployment rate. It's a major issue. We share on manifesto on both NDC and NPP. Unemployment idea
24-hour economy nana. Sana woka Britain wana kade wa kwampa insupa akania wa mra no wona so Ghana ye wo sa hobo na ye betuma run 24-hour economy.
Senior I was say yes ye ni aya I was say yes as every PP. We need to begin to put in the necessary support to be to me we need to begin from somewhere, right? Because if you have an economy running 24 hours, so what you say most of your sectors not running a year. So what do we need in order to realize the objectives of 24-hour economy? We need to begin putting. So it's a very major thing now. I think that we should not say. One of the panelists, Eka said, discourse, and we should not just I say consent. This is a major issue about to me attending your country around in terms of businesses, employment, so because when you have about like maybe 3 shifts. Right in 24 hours, certainly it is going to have significant impact on your economy. So it is something now. It's something we should not just rubbish. What is it necessary? To me, Abu and said, "At the end of it, me aya, a bit me Eddie Apo." I was said, and she share and that is what. And I think that within that, NDC is if you look at the manifesto, it will be based on import substitution. So as an export promotion. Last week, my final comments I'm making. I'm going to say we need to do what we need to export more and import less. And this is, I think, this is what I'm seeing in this particular manifesto. Because when you have import substitution now, local industries to grow, you have some factories now are establishing within. So they might be importing. Foreign hard currency import. So if we begin to do those things within locally, we'll be able to reduce the imports that ever. So if we have factories producing what and what, it means they will be able to export more, and then we'll have foreign exchange.
You, what can be one governance aspect now? Also, size of government. What better also? You size of government will better also na so it is what also na baby always what they do on one was what the baby do MC 60 you ministers so you hear system ministers you hear
donc my question one Hello.
Manifesto ni kyerɛ sɛ size of government yi ɛso paa.
Yeah, no, Pacha, me say I am a question.
125 or aba 80 something. Was one what the bebe 60. Na so 60 no eye. Wunye ni say it is what also and as what it become. You.
Donc, me da say. The American say yes say to me run this country with the 60 ministers. So what you say, we don't need a friend saying ministers do no and yet do no bit to me aboye. System ministers, I think that is a dear bit to me is doable. But the point is that how committed will they be in terms of say appointed 60 ministers? Nienti Mikai say in the run up to lead up to the last election. NPP promised said they were going to run a very small size government. They ended up having over 120 ministers. Today, who share NPP manifesto that they are going to have 50 ministers. So they should be telling us why they could not run small size government, or in terms of ministers. And then I promise to me and rather they had more. And then so what is and then I also believe you said they can run with 50. Which NDC? NDC is saying that they are going to have 60 ministers. So what you say? So it is doable. I think that it will be the most efficient thing, the best savior. And a lot of things say, able to me, I have 60 ministers. But the question, and the Dr. Ansakwe kind of say, commitment to appoint 60 ministers or 50 ministers is the issue. One way of saying it is easy to say it, but doing it is another issue. So I think that for the NPP, looking at the previous so we promise here, want to be and deliver. All that we hope that the NDC say omonya akonya say omeruli omaino they should keep to omo promise now omodema omaino because it's a social contract and almost signing with Ghanaians. So when they are given the opportunity, I think that running the government with system ministers, a bit to me ably.
NDC nena nkasa kakra na fe your friend me wura MPP nena nkuntu ya na asam no so me wura am ya meba ho na we wasam you me wura mpacha okasa me so you am say me so dro na afiri na eremwa en zuma bomfa no ko phone
na pick one mini amia
kasa no ntume nkane kasa you Mr. Miao tuawasam so na yenko mebisa question bi na manya anu yi muse agent act
precisely
asampa isane say obiara wundume hwe won anyin wo woman mun na jere won se bi won se won fata adwenopa nanka mobeye se ama won ade na mu yi won haircut.
Yeah, that means the domestic debt exchange.
Yes, penimfuni bi wo mu yehu yen mame chief justice.
Thank you for correcting that. Because the question appeared to say it was targeted towards the elderly.
Oh, Debbie. Muso mo re yen chiche bi a ayi won enyin no mu baba bo. Asampa.
I was affected.
You na Mrs. Mu be yes am penimfu ade na mu yi won.
Enye buapa yo in any event. The finance minister has apologized. Has he not?
Said
the domestic debt exchange program was very hurtful, and that we apologize. We are sorry. It was a necessary evil. The economy, baby, and the economy, we were near collapsing.
The mother mopa chawa yenyentum na want to abamam. So the osang oba
who has apologized for taking us through Dumso for 4 to 5 years, when local small businesses were collapsing. People were in theater tables. Who apologized for that? Who apologized for that? And Doomsday was okay, so we don't need an apology. If the economy is that bad, and we have apologized, and also after the apology, still now untie, there are no idea quote through I won't apologize and on now you consider no. But me comment opinion Dr. Obeka say or see 24-hour economy. And he made a statement saying, "Me can say night class bear 24 hours, and we should stop the concert and stop rubbishing it." I didn't say that. And I'm not making say you bear 24-hour economy, our night club. And the former president, he said that. And it's on no, can I me bizarre? Why is it that a concert? Or I'm rubbishing it? Now me person me bizarre and say, no, I can't say 24-hour economy no. And you are there Britain for you. I wanted to ask him, so also make Jamie time and answer me. How Britain is implementing 24-hour economy? There's nothing like that. You can't say economy running 24 hours. An end to a means.
Me wa mama misa o. Nti NDC manifesto e da bontin. So be pepper be fim abana.
Look, like me my kind of I may identify a lot of the things that my promise here they are being implemented or being done already. Opinion of Kasai Kram yet I say about 70% of their manifesto promises no. I nyoma say yeah dada. My issue as a Ghanaian first is that it's not just about the manifesto, but the individual now be leading manifesto no, for the its onslaught. They'll be leading its implementation. Or you'll be a say okay in the modern board sometime pastor. Your man akonya say on some brebiwa ebebuana. And I'm saying that even with Okotna Abontin for 8 years, I also a person back, you know. Now say your major policy, your flagship policy, and your 24-hour economy that you can't even explain yourself. You can't explain to the extent say what can't you Ghana for say 9 class better 24 hours. If you look at it,
24, you know, 24-hour economy. No, over say say night club or someone kwanda wo. Say na hu na ya.
Sure. You see, abesa say
abeba say insandodo.
Exactly. So even that one bad night na a woman tell me say that policy in itself. Anya ononkwa o, anya ononkwa. Obi ka tell say one 24-hour economy. You be njanta asebo any Vladimir Kopo.
Bacho gina.
Ghana be edru ni.
Bacho NDC ni no wo so a miura kasa na fe Dr. Ansako emrem. Em say Dr. Ansako.
Ba se me say baby mpacho.
Dr. Ansako beba. Na fe waba.
Wada me that.
Em say doc, I mean
officer. Yeritie wo.
Doc.
Dog, they can go straight to the point. Now, maybe NPP ni amiao. I make some assumption. Political science we put into test. No, it is showing the lack of consistency in his presentation. Number one, Okasa Dramani Mahama wabidi akunyani bikoda. Enti a background of trust and credibility. It is a trust. If that assumption holds there, let me flip the assumption to him. Mampania be the also to Frank Kama MPP no. A better economic management team on the head. Under his watch, no, Ghana has been reduced to a junk status. Will it be fair and right on my part to say that and I'm so on the Tibreke oh Jessica Samon to so a minor comment at Diagunuso. On also the same patate to Abaman. Number two.
Bacho,
you had your time, Bacho. You had your time. Let me.
Bacho,
please, you had your time.
Opening, Miss Amia, Bacho, no, Chiro, win some. Debbie, would it, Chiro, Nancomono, and
Casano refer to your mammy making a point.
What is Chiro? Oh, Mamma Brain now, so way, why? Bacho,
on the issue of corruption. The host may be saying, look, Mampanida da welcome corruption cause of okay, and this year only a fool doesn't change his mind. And you're not correct. In honest of sincerity, you're the minus 8 years. You will say you're coming back, you know, in fighting corruption of manifesto, no policy idea by a aura, what is Operation Recover all the loops. And yes, are we telling ourselves so because so far about more no so be one. The manifesto is telling us that the general reporter for the past almost 8 years, NPP Sika, I am embezzled, mismanaged account. It is heading to almost 50 billion Ghana cedi. The NDC can Ghana for Yatom, next to Abamaye. Corruption. We are not going to use the same old approach the oral approach, what is Operation Recover all the loot. And to be ordering said the Wafa Pamboneso, and we are Manisika, and their question and party, and the minor wono.
the next NDC government policy, the ban over Fiaba. There's also me answer. Let me go to job creation. Because all research opinion pool and the NDC government now unemployment rate is 8.2%. And now you can say no, it is a whopping 14.7. You cannot tell me that about the unemployment amount 8.2%. Now we have the first 8.2. And you have got poly 14.7. No, you are better than him. Even so funny in nominal terms, in percentage terms, you are nowhere near the NDC. NDC government to say, in order to resolve that issue, need to mitigate it social cancer. No, the events in joblessness angle. No, number one, she said the whole part of France, part of US, UK, 25 economy, able to productivity, efficiency, equity, improve tax revenue. No, the the 25 economy said the economy will not sleep. Tax revenue will go up, employment will go up, and we are going to move from import-driven economy to an export-driven economy. We are import-sufficient method. They are talking, and the Women Development Bank. All over the world, women are the chunk of the population. Statistically, in the Ghana population, and my whooping 52.5 to 8%. Which I will say, so our baby a woman mercy can no because women constitute the greater chance of the SME. Let me take you to India. I take you to South Africa and Kenya. I'll go India. They have specific several banks targeted the women empowerment. NDC say, yeah, but you are. You bring a my year, you see a crab here. Out of the corporate to customer, a women development bank. As soon as one is number one. Or baby or digger. Now, here, what's an enroll 5,000 Ghana cedi, interest free. Yes, also me, or baby or person digger. Whether or a trader, importer, exporter, an entrepreneur, person or building a business base. I'll hear Bosiano, and then between 5,000 to even 50 million Ghana cedi, interest a baby minimum. A banner say no, a bad boy, my mercy customer to Pombe creating for more people. There's also me entire National Apprenticeship Program. The host, Dog Bubisano said, National Apprenticeship Program, you was a first debate. And now the other one, my nana. Now, say, M4 France, I didn't do a hot data. Does it not make economic sense to improve upon it? Or say, just 3 days ago, and this year by a launch, you're launching a manifesto 24th August, and they are 31st of August. Right now, say, the program they launched was an afterthought. And here, come again and phone in Asia, say, you're launching a manifesto 24th August. You launched your program 3 days ago. Mathematically, 31 minus 24, 7 days. Where that was say, your launching of your National Apprenticeship Program about 3 days ago was simply because NDC has said it. You can't Ghana for say your baby and Sanujuma for Adepam 3 years the Sanujuma for no program na dey ban say which is what you betia and then no kwa only punishment you know upon who we are. You better say the seed capital you need to operate your own self-employed ventures, we shall provide it. Number 4. Yeah,
Mr. Miao, say, oh, sorry, Mufanchem, Mr. Techi, say, dinga being near me, then Tibiano, Mekambum, Mufanchem, Mr. Techi, Bacho Sum, Namemra, Dr. Ansa, Doc, what can I say, actually, one ho, you, what's a near course here, South Yase, 24-hour economy, when we be a while, Bayangana. We share a governance once here. What will be about an environment? Sanya may be a saying Boboso. Now we share manifesto no Nefi Mura Amiao Emremu Nefi young call yen second topic and so you.
But so maybe we have a question. 24-hour economy, we and yes, no carry and yes, simply a matter say one can say. Disco na win every 24 hours. And the joke can't call food the joke. No, can't say, but that's by way of explanation. But what he means is say everything, government departments will run on 24-hour basis. First shift, second shift, third shift, never be able to serve. And it's the most just idea, and you just this could take away. But the point is that there were enough people that were better running a shift now. Lights in the honum. We both in our third shift, second shift, and in our context, in our condition. Dr. I think you can't really say we have to start from somewhere. But is this the right time to start? I don't want to express an opinion on that. It's up to them. In the time for economy and work and environment,
governance.
Rather than governance.
What's governance? Corruption will be the size of government and a constitution.
That is the real point I want to make. Say, I say, you will fear Ghana, you fear. Na papa na mama, they be a wareko. That's what the political parties are doing, NDC and NPP. They be a wareko, what challenge you want. Na mo fra and a fear no suffer. Says, son, na what are you Ghana? The ordinary Ghanaian no suffer. Obia will come with very nice ideas, but they put party first, so they give you a partisan viewpoints. Well. And just as Mr.
Now, Doc, I wouldn't say near Wakan, Waba, what to me, and so.
The striking me in yes, want to me, and any problem, a lot of talk they are not able to implement. Or they recycle the same old ideas with the same ways. It's been American, it's been a Dr. They can say 80% of near NPP Muno are things that have been done or are being done. It's been on sorry can say anything the kind. They did it that has been tried before. 80% the things we've agreed on. In fact, what strikes me in here, there are different things they are saying. It seems that they are all saying the same thing. Generally, better governance than you hear. Corruption, when you now focus on the economy, they give different dimensions to the economy. They all focus on the economy largely. They all mention corruption, but they don't take it serious. Because only one major issue facing this country. Corruption was alleged against the NDC. This thing, airline sale, aircraft, Ghana, Airbus. We have Britain, Parliament, I prove say a tough figure in Ghana was involved in that. When to me and say, not very well here. Their corruption is just the.
When I say OSP, they never report about Abonton.
Oh no, but that is not enough. Yeah, that is just no, exactly. Who is that figure? Who they mention? Who is that figure? Who is that figure? Yes. Who is that figure? Yes, and they gave indicators. And you know, there must be enough proof to show that it is this or it is not. Who are they?
OSP, sa report no.
Maybe I'm part of me explain. So we share and manifesto person you look at now. They talk about what they call ORAL. Operation recover all loot. But what here 1 year, it seems the loot starts from Kufuor Bre and ends with Kufuor Bre. But the loot, it goes far beyond Kufuor. So are we going to recover all those loot, or are we going to start from Kufuor Bre near Jai Honum? So the question at the Assembly, over the National Reconciliation Commission, they face that problem. Where do we start? In Nkrumah time, and I say Rollins time on Kope. And it's from what they write.
Doc, my name is Sal. I orai. Wo sha say na we tua manyo say mo ni mu no. He fa no one starting V.
Me anka Fourth Republic crampo. Betua kwacha just the Fourth Republic 92. My Nkrumah time. Nkrumah time they were enough of that commissions in our honum. And so then start just from the Fourth Republic. Forget about the Third Republic. Rollins man were a lot of commissions. They couldn't get much against the man and coup. Yes, start from Fourth Republic. And for Rollins no share and Kosia Chua Ambisine. And you see say a whole number of things like that. And then you say a whole number of things will come. And then we pay. Sasi Bepreya would just say among us say what to individuals. Both parties have done it. Both parties have done it. And then there are cheap rates. Nima Bebre. And a good idea, but the implementation beba. Now, Nyame can be some kind of say manifesto politics. Now I said, my papa na Mareko, na Mofana was suffer. Because all the parties are really saying the same thing. I am struck by the fact that both parties are very close in their ideas. Nobody is saying anything radical. There's no revolutionary party in Ghana. Nobody is saying that we should nationalize lands. I'm not saying that we here. Nobody is saying that chieftaincy should be abolished. The constitution bans it. Nobody is crying for a fundamental change of the constitution. So in fact, there's a lot of agreement. There's a lot of agreement among Ghanaians. We agree on a lot of things. But then, it's when it comes to the implementation that we put a lot of things wrong. We use different ways to cover a whole number of things. Take, for example, with this commission, with Ami Dubai chairman, human rights, and then the human rights.
Office of Special Prosecutor.
And to me, I could say, baby, the idea was very good. But then I could see.
What has it achieved?
What difference has it made in our body politics? The same perceptions are there. Well, I can't say we a perception. Politics is all about perception. Politics is all about perception. That's what politics is all about, perception. That doesn't mean it'll be a right or it'll be a wrong. But then, so the ordinary person does not trust both parties. I mean, that is why I still stand. So because I'm an ordinary person. No. Now, one buy say Papa na Mareko, not there be a more bre. And the parties too ni nano minjiwondi. When you put to party and self-interest before the interest of the ordinary Ghanaian. Now we must hold them to account.
So what kind of issue of NDC? Kind of issue of the size of government? We say we hear one day.
Yeah, I want to say, I say Papa na my person we jam when I walk abonten. What the economy is better ho, what the tough better ho. Monjina monche. So man who nyansa na wa manage ho pe. Mo go so kasa ho an bo ye no woko. So na parties no way yen. And what we need na aba. But these are not the fundamental issues. One kasa when you serious. One kasa when you committed. One customer must be held to account to be more responsible because they are saving us.
So what are the fundamental issues?
The fundamental issues, they say, how can we, they must account. For example, Obi can be say, and yeah, COVID and things were going right. And yeah, don't carry. But there's the other viewpoint, say COVID, you know, it went to Ghana's advantage. Sani Bino Soreka said the amount of money we received as aid, you know, we got more rather than lost anything. Sika what the bread young no away he and fine he then I what the year. Abana cheni maybe was one year, but people are questioning that. They are saying it's a tragedy, but money wise, you know, we income no what accrue to us more than we and you no carry and you no carry. Me can say no carry, me can say ya toro. But when I shame, obi an shame ye. Enti e money pan jab ban di, abani pe jaka so obi an jini di. Enti na obi koto aba. And yes, sir, when Jimmy O said it, now we go to a bar. Or themselves, no kind of say when you know when Obia Basa. And to young ordinary people, you enjoy being Obia Basa. And to Okwa, we shall need beer, about child beer. Now, I did, open what to a man. Because one cannot quarrel, one put two nations before and way. I'm struck by the scenario of what they are saying. I'm struck by the same weaknesses, the same failure.
But sir, Osha parties yampo Ghana a two-party state. In the NDC and we near NPP be winning.
I am say that's time you so the manifesto be turn na. My young fan send your person yeah. You focus just on the manifesto. Let us question they themselves. Let us question their motives. Let us remind them. A lot of things are 1 year in the past that we go see here. I say were corrected. I can't very nice words resetting the past. Some person use the resetting, sir, and the people use a different phrase. What's if going forward? They are not resetting anything, but just going forward. However you put it, you know, when you narrow back and say Ghana Mpuntu, Ghana development, when you now work here. How have they been faithful to that? And then I say 1 year, then I say then I say when I can. But people know I say no carry. If you need COVID as some Kenya, so what you need. If you start to for economy, one want to mean to oh, you be brave. As I say, if I want, say what can we be way. We must put them to task when more serious.
Because my last question, Doc. So one and yes idea, working then na yenye.
Some people have started. If you can say no lights, no votes, no say, no votes. We ordinary Ghanaian are paying kasa, piachu when politics home. So we win him. Nipe pia are apathetic to politics. One job BND. We nipe pia won for two more bia. We nipe pia one person can say why you ha and answer why you ha. Because when you know who you are, one job BND. We nipe pia or but this cover ha because we might miss it more. And it was say man or man who don't know BM because one do one day. Obama ban about Ghana, about Africa, or two Africa phobia. Names that who here far. We must build institutions. We must build institutions. And to journalists, ordinary person, we must build big institutions. Now the political party seems to be the most developed institution in Africa. And the political party works for the interest of party members and the party, not a way.
Yo, say so I say mo na Jalilu, Dr. Jalilu mra oba na femi wura me yaw na ono so na asemo wo no waka. Jalilu, bremu we are
Prof. Yo, senior me da say.
Dr. Jalilu,
Yo, Pacho me da say. Seminia Bako Ekasana or Casa Smith say hello. Okay. Yo, Miss Minia the Ameya, I don't know, sorry, pardon me. And Mr. Okasaro or Simika say UK a 24-hour economy. But no credit in this semi line so Yamiado me line also in Koye. Make me just refer to one article. In fact, with a simple search, Emerson Kobe who said they have a nighttime economy, which is the 24-hour economy. For example, Obi Cultural article I friend Yahoo is just on Ghana web. And when you go there, Kabibi was say it's estimated that Landis nighttime economy, or called 24-hour economy, contribute to 17.7 billion and 26.3 billion pounds. So at a gross value added to the UK economy in 2014. This figure is between 5 and 8. Okayan or Baha. Overall, the UK 24-hour economy is estimated to be 66 billion, with land representing up to 40% of this figure. Right? So the above figures indicate that 24-hour economy plays a significant role in the socio-economic development of the land area. Apart from where or natural, maybe in Casa at least, UK and China 10 years. So what I say, material police for the and one of the major issues in terms of security are among the year distribution of maybe a hotspot police, usually say they will have to nighttime economy, not crime, also equal high. So they normally have a plan to have either more visibility in the UK. You can see at least so matter 10 years here in UK. So I mean it's one of the it's making contribution to the UK economy. Now, say lastly on this particular matter, I think there is one other thing now Manifesto Women's Development Bank. No, I think and also idea a bit to me Abua. I won't say it is a new initiative, because at least as a bank now, initiative for women. No, I think it's a new thing, but it doesn't mean say this is the first time now I say Abua Emma. I mean, we share a Greek banker previously some years it means that to me but this is make us the first time government person will take initiative be a bit to me Abua Emma in terms of some of the traditional banks on collateral now was most women they just need some little startup capital and to improve on more if I say finances. So this particular bank will be giving them a low interest rate and require very, stringent collateral so I think it is a new thing. It's a very good thing to me, Abua or mine. But you say when you
also bank has some working. Say Sika, what the bank walk off away. Would NDC manifesto na yebese sa sika no yerebe if bank no ubenye sika no ye pese hu mempese ye se Ghana fo yen haw na se enye se ye nkomo keke se o yebe bank amam yebe ye se na so yebe kwakunye sika yerebe bank no we if say bank bebre wo ha o men so egu sika sam na ho ne ma so Obenye sika wen no ya esa bank no yen adwin ta adrom ka bibi kire na fe Mr. Ameyaw omremu na ono nso nkire na adwin won nsem bi won fe makọ Dr. Ansakwe you
right so not me that say and also na come so me baso say these are very good ideas. Now realizing them is another matter. So once in fact to mooting ideas a very difficult thing. So some to me initiative say the Abba said this is what we want to do. This is a manifesto, this is a proposal that they want to do. So certainly they will have to need some infrastructure. How are they going to do it? Maybe it's not government, it is not going to be maybe government in a certainly they will have to have maybe a public-private partnership, or they will give a lot of this into private institutions to be able to raise this. And then the government will have to give them the enabling environment, because that is the most important thing. Creating enabling environment for such a bank to thrive, no, because a banner say to me, that's a juma, especially to me, a man, say a boy, a man. Certainly, it will go in the record of the NDC. So I think, in my view, the government, I say, only create enabling environment.
Yes. Wanna talk a crabby man. Na FEMRA, you were friend and phoning, so non-crofon, so intra-100 and FE, Nkomono, we pay.
Me that's it. Pacho, the ED kind. In Pembe, no, you more NDC for your comparison. Then they compare Dr. Mahmoud Baumia to former President John Dramani Mahama. Dr. Mahmoud Baumia has never been the president. He doesn't have the executive authority. Yamano Akwenya, or Mampenin Yamano Akwenya, say only Bibi answer with me. President Mahama, I a president to that. And this is NDC before Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, no. Let's compare when a former president was a vice president. Nagana Fumbisa Yahoo say, Wamra no a vice president, no. A dear Juman or Yama or my Ghana, Wamra near Bonoka, a Chiani Kabusumi Biano. What were the policies that he championed?
Into which it is a 1 year policy.
Mamibi.
I never know. Wona woka
bisan this ni bi normal bi
wona me bisa wo miwura wona
wan ba ko guda ba ko kra wan bi
wan hu ba ko
obi me ma bi
yo ko wanim
Dr. Mahmoud Baumia ma 33 policies are why unquestionable uncontestable, which is a fact. Then the issue of a year apprenticeship training now minya techi kan wan say it was an afterthought here copy really. BOT, you should do better than this. The portal for that training artisan program was open 20th November 2023. Your training on my way, they went through 3 months training. Before you even, in fact, me the CEO Nechi Echo or warehouse no more this startups no come on. That was even before you even launch your manifesto. So how come say we launch your manifesto and you gather all that startups, over 1 million startup packs, any 10,000 people, we gather them within 3 days and send them to Techiman and give them certification. Jesus Christ. Pacho, any dog. COVID, according to a reporter by, I might be wrong, but it was about 30 billion Ghana cedis. That 30 billion Ghana cedis was a budgetary support because of our shortfall of tax revenue because of the COVID. Now the question all of us must ask ourselves, say, maybe it was a blessing. The first question is that Ghana, your tax revenue for the year, it's about 60 billion or even more. So if you have a situation in Ghana for a whole year, no airplanes, and no tourism activity whatsoever. Transportation was affected. Freights were affected. Sabi uko porter ebi mba nebi ako. Airplane ebi ko. Teacher for 9 months, yet government was paying them. A any running shift in this country, you think it will not affect the economy? We were not going to lose money. So if we had budgetary support of 30 billion, and I might be wrong. Now your budget, your tax revenue for a year, you bear 60 billion. Jesus.
Yo, simple. Every near
what we call accountability. Accountability. As some said to me, no. As some see the Bechem say, we Bechem by year, we Bechem say, near media yin, and near name. Now, so what do you need to share? Now, when modding, one chair, now when you be an any man say support of 30 billion or whatever the figure is, billion. Now, there's no detailed account of how it was spent.
I'm sorry, but that's of
Bajo Munsum na Obi war line also. Miura war line also. Benefum bebem near Miura and as a men now war line also. Pacho, your phone, Pacho Casa. Bowding natural baby our casafi.
But your friend of part time, if you are my samai.
You offer time, Mancomonco.
Wait, I'm the a COVID there by a boa NPP because Ushimwa and I'm say about first, I'll be what more than a Ushimwa, not COVID, Ukraine, Russia, Ukraine war. Sabi nimpana Russia Ukraine war no kura nimpana ye your friends ye kunu call for kura ye tutu bom kunu kura no kura mpono ono kura onsu hu de comedy no call for but se be Ukraine and Russia war no e ye keka ban na Ghana boy ne war and Russia Ukraine war and so ade atam ni and I find say teacher training and I find nursing training me ba ni okọ school mfie mienu ni ye on tanka wan si di mpo omo mutia omu tia sika no ta where your friends say nothing trading na restore no buso omu pia na the ban for the ban net is for trading no lewat no omu tia ye me ba o two we film Germany ni tanka one city and so mba tra ho no na ya restore that is why your friends say dey atam kula ni
Mura ya da se mpamchao tiefu ni ahwefo no mercy no meri timu bio we yen TV no so 055-166-9325 mpacho Fred na kire wadwene mpacho ma wo kasa enye de enye huam enye oyawo enye abufu yo
Phobia
yo obani mpacho wudin mante bobi o
ofra mi chei
obani chei mankomonko ya so tie o
ni mi fa ne se efa airbus no ho no ni mi kan se ni se o man penin dada wawu o ti committee bia no on investigation was airbus no ho na if so owu ye no ye tin ka ju nti se committee no o mo fa ni se o mi en sen ye tin ho sen bia biu that means owu ye na te etu kana man penin dada Dramani Mahama en obedi so on share committee no ye ho se go si ye enu pa ho a on share 2014 our local accountability 2014 last time talk about borrow Brazil ye hu ye si ye tan me na on ka ho se mi entie
yo Mira
your man be up Dramani Mahama for the building I'm telling you for the building ni say on one year no and oka adibisa corruption
yo ya to question no mpacha obi fufuro wo ha o me yente nka yo mpacha se braso a ete se mekan WhatsApp messages kakra na etiefo ene ahwefo wo hu ni akọ
o kan WhatsApp message se wo nyam bia onze na me make a point about a 24-hour economy in the UK. There's nothing like 24 hours economy in UK. In fact, London. See that, let's not confuse the people.
Yo, Mira,
London is not the whole of
Mira.
UK.
Mira, so many men can a telephone here for one message. Good morning, please. Yo, good morning, please. I am Andrews from Kwabenya. Please ask Ms. Amayao if the NPP have created over 2 million genuine jobs. What is the unemployment rate and why are we still not getting jobs? Ask him. The Ebola is which crisis? What did they use the COVID money for? Mr. Yo, obi wala ino so. Mpacho unipa akono onka samayeng. Mr. Mayor mpacho chiro sa semina we ya nwa.
Hello.
Obani mpacho bowdin na chire baby a wo kasa fi.
Hello.
Yo, yeto nka mpacho kasa.
Bacho, good morning.
Morning oh.
Bacho, good morning.
Yo, yeto nka kasa wudin ani baby a wo kasa fi.
Bacho, your friend dan epoch-making.
Yo, obani kasa.
Bacho, your friend.
Yo, Mr. Amina, Bacho, Chirawa, Wasamani uncle.
There's nothing like 24-hour economy in the UK. A 24-hour economy in London. And London is not the whole of UK. You see, the 24-hour economy now, Ghana 24-hour economy, it's not implemented like that in any part of the world. You just take one city and then use that one city and say, oh, now obey a 24-hour economy. How do you tell me, say, passport office? Ever running 24-hour economy. So you are telling me, say, about 2 a.m. Imrante yo mujia camera chi. One the bebo an ahomachi 2 a.m. so or passport office or call the passport. How does that make sense? Who is going to DVLA? Send a license into a sorry ahomachi 3 a.m. into a call DVLA. What's it because we provide security? Now no me radio station. We so me 25,000 me employ 25,000 security personnel. What me na ya oba ya cry en call baby ya cry. What's ya na na come.
Yo, Mira, jina obi wo phone no so. Mpacho.
Hello.
Yo, Mira, mpacho chire wudin na baby a okasa fi.
Pacho, your friend Same, the kasa fi of Uncle Beria.
Opening yankasa.
Pacho, program na mo ye ni je hu pa. Na Mahama nyuma ye no. And so ye ni. It sounds first ye the presidential e dia show nsa say ye dwuma na paboaye. Chief driver wako jayan ahwe ho dada. Sisi adubre a driver na nkasa ba say ye befa car no. Ududum so dia man ye sa bisi summary. Ye you were free so o sampe say o sampe DN the call dum so mu. Nti dia wo ho ne say emwaye. Ti on sipum no on pani chief driver na no ye no entra nchen me da masi.
Yanso ya da say you mpacho mesame yaw mema sima 1 minute.
1 minute yeah.
Yo.
Ebio you see so we share NPP your manifesto now. There are 3 policies I think say standing out a bebo mine. I'm talking about gold for oil. Now we are talking about your exchange rate regime. So we Ghana you printed dollars. And also you demand a year we know a year dollars near they satisfy that demand. With the gold for a year oil no and our gold purchasing program no, we can buy gold locally. So we are empowering the local small scale miners no. Thereby getting gold in our vote. Said the beya you hear dollars now. You bet me a far gold you know. Near their $1 dollars. And no be here sika kesia. Na no your man penny be the chief rank 2 former NPP man you couldn't catch say. Na it could be $3.1 billion. So time you confess as can away. Name money will gold wo your time gold in man or the kojini sika. It's a fantastic policy. I think say beboa amasa exchange rate regime no. Etimi aso.
Nkrofo say I dey na wo gold out ko je oyo.
I na wo gold out ko je oyo. Why are they asking that?
Yeah, will be some.
Because we have dollars to buy the oil. And dollars currency. You have a lot of demand for the dollars in Ghana, you printed dollars. So instead of the dollars now, also CDs no now they are koto. Now yes sir, you are weakening your CD no. But God need your wa mani mudada. Now ebi turn the fan guama. Say any background better trade. Ebia Jimmy Gold is worth ebia 2 million, 300 million, 100 million. Na mami oil. I think it's the most fantastic idea. Eye o mampenia be di chire bia dia ba o se so me ye.
Yo, Mira, me dase. Mamenko Jalilu, Dr. Jalilu, 1 minute. Dr. Jalilu, Mama Usima.
All right, yo, Doc, me dase.
Yo, Dr. Jalilu.
Yeah. Right. So Niameka say political parties or more manifestos, yes, a proposal, a social contract. So what we are hoping is that they should put in measures in order to be able to implement them. Because over the years, you know, manifesto timbia, and yet our citizens are still not satisfied. And idea, they have to do that. On the 24-hour economy, you know, even from what I have read, that UK is about 66 billion, and London, the representation of the 66 billion is about 40%. Me maintain London, me UK, me Nottingham, and I know that factories and other things work 24 hours. So basically, but that is that is the fact. So as a manifesto, NDC for Yahoo manifesto. So for me, I think that the 24-hour economy idea a bit to me abua. Right, so it starts to do with also to me implementing, and then lastly the Women's Bank, no, MC idea bit so abua.
Yeah, Sonia, as I said, what you know, parties need at least 2 parties need one manifesto. Abba, kind of so far one them, right? na we ebeboa ebemanya adwene ma do na nyanyama adwene ho na mo nyameka say what they be say young Ghana for so ordinary people the general public civil society no say yes so no here for manifesto is serious na your question one na you sure say a social contract into what power you be bia obey nya won aka no
yo atiefo ni ahwefo emze ahana bere bema yenkwan yen asema question atusu abien no yen antuma moso onyankopon ma yen nkwa yo dasene yebeto aso aseda yemode edamase